Now these are pictures, and I know they're not perfect, but I want you to get the gist of this. The first one was the black nightshade versus deadly nightshade. Once fully ripe, you can enjoy black nightshade, Solanum nigrum berries in stews, desserts, and even raw, thereby benefiting from its immunity boosting properties. The key is to be cautious. The berries can be toxic before they ripen, and some species have produced unpleasant effects, so you need to be familiar with the type of black nightshade in your area. Now, the plant over here, the deadly nightshade, this plant has a dangerous imitator called this plant has a deadly imitator called Atropa belladonna. Unlike black nightshade, its fruit is glossy and borne singly instead of in clusters. The berries also have green callyces, I don't know how to say it, callus, that extend collar-like past the fruit itself. The tubular bell-shaped flowers of deadly nightshade range in color from purple to lilac, unlike black nightshade, which has tiny white flowers that are hard to spot. Currant tomatoes versus bittersweet nightshade. The currant tomato on your left side is Solanum pimpinifolium, is a plant that originated in South America and still grows wild throughout the Americas. In addition, it's the ancestor of all cultivated tomatoes and has a mild, slightly sweet taste. The red currant tomato is an exceptional source of lycopene, a naturally occurrent pigment and antioxidant that can prevent, fight, and repair cell damage. The currant tomato is edible, but its look-alike over here, the bittersweet nightshade, Solanum dulcamara, is highly toxic. While both plants have a wood-like climbing vine and produce flowers with 5 pointy petals, tomatoes have yellow flowers, while those on bittersweet nightshade are deep violet. Dandelion versus cat ear. Dandelion Taraxacum officinale leaves and flowers have long consumed as food and used as a natural diuretic, while cat's ears, Hypochirus radicata, is a long-standing herbal remedy for kidney issues, gallbladder problems, and rheumatism, and watch out if you keep horses, as the plant can be toxic to them. To tell them apart, take a close look at the stems. And the stems of dandelion flowers are unforked and hollow, while the leaves are jagged and hairless. In contrast to dandelions, cat-eared plants have forked stems and leaves with hairy lobes. Sweet almonds versus bitter almonds. All almonds, Prunus dulcis, contain a certain degree of cyanide. Sweet almonds, which are those cultivated and sold for human consumption, only have trace amounts, making them a safe source of natural calcium. Bitter almonds, which are wider and shorter, contain 42 as much cyanide. Children can be fatally poisoned by eating just 5 to 10 of the bitter almonds. Even a few nuts can cause dizziness, weakness, difficulty breathing, and other symptoms in adults. Bitter almonds are also typically grown on trees with pink blossoms, while white blossom trees tend to grow the sweeter varieties. Sweet chestnuts versus horse chestnuts. Sweet chestnuts, Castanea sativa, are edible sources of antioxidants and fiber. Horse chestnuts, Aesculus hippocastanum, on the other hand, are toxic and can cause digestive disorders like stomach pain and nausea and vomiting. To tell them apart, take a close look at the burr. On sweet chestnuts, it is brown. It has long bristly spines and contains 2 or 3 nuts. On horse chestnuts over here, the burr is thick and green and shorter spikes and has a single larger nut. In addition, sweet chestnut trees grow in woods and orchards, while their toxic cousins tend to be found in urban areas. While you cannot safely eat horse chestnuts to feed them to livestock, they have medicinal uses. Extract from the poisonous conkers contains AESCIN. This is used to treat hemorrhoids and chronic venous insufficiency. True morels versus false morels. Morel mushrooms, Morchella esculenta, contain antioxidants that fight free radicals leading to diabetes and heart disease. They are prized as culinary delicacies, but you want to avoid accidentally picking any mushrooms from the false morels group, which are often poisonous. As a general rule of thumb, true morels have pitted or web-like caps, while false morels have wrinkled ones. A hollow stem and a well-attached cap are also signs of a true morel. Use caution when collecting these delicacies and confirm with a more experienced forager if you aren't sure. You know, I was impressed with one of my subscribers. He said, it's better just to leave it alone. Do not try to figure these things out. If you don't know, leave it alone. Wild blueberries, you see the scientific name, which are found throughout North America and Europe, have been known to boost brain function and improve heart health. They also have a potentially deadly look-alike, tutsan berries, over here on the right, that can be found in New Zealand, Australia, and North America. Tutsan bushes produce blackberries that can look like blueberries, but can cause gastrointestinal problems, weakness, raised heart rate, and other symptoms, particularly in children. The best way to tell them apart is by examining the berries themselves. Blueberries have a rich shade of blue, while tutsan berries are nearly black when ripe. Here is another one that I worry about you. That's why I'm trying to just use these pictures so that you have an idea what I'm trying to say. Now, these are wild carrots versus hemlock. You know what that is. Wild carrots over here, and you see the scientific name, also known as Queen Anne's lace, have long been used to treat urinary tract problems. They have a red spot in the middle, hairy stems and stalks, and a white root that smells like carrots. Now remember that, it smells like carrots. The blossom folds up like a nest as it ages. However, when collecting wild carrot, you need to be vigilant as it bears a strong resemblance to what? The poison hemlock. And you see the scientific name. In some U.S. states, poison hemlock is common along roadsides and in open fields. There are purple blotches on its hairless yellow stalks. The plant can grow quite tall, sometimes reaching 8 feet or more. It has an open, branching inflorescence with umbrella-shaped flowers. Wild carrots, on the other hand, have one dense flower cluster on a narrow, hairy stem, usually with a single purple flower in the center, and usually grow to 3 feet in height. Wild garlic and false garlic. There are hundreds of species in the alum genus, including garlic, chives, scallions, leeks, and many others. Wild garlic in particular has been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. The cloves have antibacterial properties for wound care, and they are often used for treating high blood pressure and digestive problems. Unfortunately, wild garlic can resemble the dangerous, now this is the antisclea, or I can't even read half of this, commonly known as false garlic, and it is toxic. And it's also basically commonly known as false garlic and crow poison and death camas. These plants are highly toxic to human and livestock. One of the best ways to tell the difference between the wild and false garlic bulbs is to smell them. With the edible variety, you easily detect the pungent odor associated with garlic. The false garlic bulbs have no odor at all. The grapevine genus Vitis includes around 60 species that produce safe and edible fruit rich in antioxidants. However, fox grapes over here on the right side, also known as the Canadian moonseed, look so similar to wild grapes that accidental poisoning can occur. You can recognize moonseed berries by their crescent-shaped seeds, which have toxic levels of DAURICIN. The plant also doesn't have the forked tendrils found on grapevines, and the moon seeds reportedly taste terrible when bitten, which is one of the first signs you should spit it out. For those who know what to look for, the earth can yield a tremendous bounty. By playing it safe and learning the difference between medicinal plants and their poisonous lookalikes, you can enjoy access to fresh and sustainable food and healing sources. So Grandma was very concerned about these things, because look how they're so common. You look at all these and you can mistakenly, get poisoned, or you could die. So this is just something that I really feel that needed to be said. Thank you. Be careful. This is Navajo Grandma.